sec here. Let's wait till this plane goes through. Okay.
So I had an idea for a diet book, but I could not get an agent to represent it, to sell it to a publisher.
Oh, sorry, Seth. One more. Let me just. Okay.
So I had an idea for a diet book, but I could not get an agent to represent it. In other words, to sell it to a publisher. So I thought to myself, oh, maybe someday they'll come to me. Anyway, I couldn't do anything with the diet book, but I did publish my other research on self-experimentation. I published a long paper about it in a scientific journal. And after the paper came out, one of my friends blogged about it, and his post was noticed by the authors of Freakonomics, who had just started a column in the New York Times. And they decided they would write about my work for their column. So one day they did, and the next day I got calls from 9 agents who wanted to represent my book. So at that point, I was able to write a diet book and sell it, and it was called The Shangri-La Diet, and it came out in 2006. And after these ideas came out and became popular, lots and lots of people tried them, and they worked. People were quite surprised that they could drink sugar water to lose weight. By then, I had advanced the ideas a little bit to include the idea of drinking oil that has no smell. Sugar water is one form of calories without smell, and extra light olive oil is another form of calories with no smell. And it turned out that both of them worked. Both of them, if consumed between meals, caused weight loss without hunger. They caused your hunger to go down. So people found it easy to eat less. And that was really shocking to them because they had always associated eating less with getting very hungry. And the diet made no sense. It made no sense to them that drinking a few tablespoons of extra light olive oil should cause them to lose weight. That did not connect up with what they'd been told about weight control. But anyway, in any case, after the book The Shangri-La Diet came out, thousands of people tried it, and there was a lot of success. And in spite of the craziness of the diet, people would do the diet, but they wouldn't tell. The word of mouth was rather slow because people thought it was crazy. One woman said, "Well, I'm actually doing this diet and it's working, but I don't dare tell my husband because it sounds so crazy." So word of mouth has taken a long time to grow, but it does now. It's 7 years later, and I think it's still growing. And it's 6 years later. Now it's 6 years later, and the word of mouth seems to be still growing. But in any case, I certainly became convinced that there was something to it, and that it really does work for lots of people. The latest version of the diet is to eat any food you want, but to hold your nose shut with a swimmer's nose clip while you're doing it. So that's what I do. I eat butter and I hold my nose shut, and I drink flaxseed oil and I hold my nose shut. So I eat normal foods, or foods that I think are very healthy for me, but I hold my nose shut when I eat them. So by removing their smell, I cause them to push down my set point. So I still think there's a lot of promise to these ideas, and I think that eventually they will become more popular because they work quite well. They just seem very crazy, even today. But I think the more they work, the more people will begin to wonder why they work, and they won't seem so crazy anymore. Okay, that's it for the